Hey friends, welcome back to the channel! Today we're diving into the question buzzing all over the fandom. Is James Gunn's Superman 2025 the best reboot we've seen since Smallville? I'm talking story, tone, casting, legacy, and yes, even Krypto the super dog. Whether you're a DC diehard or just curious why people are adopting more dogs after watching Superman, you're in the right place. Spoiler alert. We'll be discussing full plot points, surprise cameos, and some behind-the-scenes reveals. So if you haven't seen Superman 2025 yet, bookmark this video and come back when you're ready. You've been warned. And hey, hit like and subscribe if you love smart, spoiler-filled reviews that dig deep but still have fun. Let's fly into it. Let's start with a throwback. Back in 2001, Smallville landed like a meteor in the superhero TV scene. It gave us a young Clark Kent who wasn't quite Superman yet. Grounded in Kansas, conflicted, human. Did you know Smallville ran for 10 seasons, becoming the longest-running North American sci-fi series at the time? What made it great? Relatable emotional core, iconic cast, Tom Welling, Michael Rosenbaum, Kristen Kruk, the slow burn of Clark becoming the Man of Steel, and that absolute banger of a theme song, Somebody Save Me. But Smallville didn't have the budget, scope, or cinematic polish that 2025's Superman now delivers. So, what happens when you take that emotional heart and give it the James Gunn blockbuster treatment? From the opening scene, Superman Legacy feels different. No grimdark color palette, no over-the-top brooding. Instead, warmth, optimism, and yes, some quirky humor. This Superman smiles more. He's not invincible, emotionally or physically. He helps a guy fix a bicycle before flying off to save a spaceship. Classic Gunn touch. The soundtrack, scored by John Murphy, blends Williams' nostalgia with moderncy. Gunn energy, it feels like Superman is alive again in pop culture. This might be the most grounded Superman we've seen since Smallville, and that's saying something. Fan on X. Let's talk about the elephant in the cape, David Corenswet as Clark Kent. At first, fans were skeptical, a lot of "he's just Henry Cavill light" comments, but wow, the guy delivered. He's charming without being smug, insecure without being mopey, sincere without being boring, and then there's Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, sharp, funny, and finally given real journalistic grit. Oh, and Krypto. Yeah, he's real, and he's trending. Fun fact, Google searches for "adopt a dog near me" spiked 500% after Superman's release. That's the power of Krypto, folks. And let's not forget Lex Luthor, played chillingly by Nicholas Hoult, finally giving us a calculated Luthor, not a cartoon villain. Mr. Terrific, the Engineer, and Metamorpho, James Gunn sneaking in his Guardian-style ensemble without making it feel crowded. We scrolled through Reddit, YouTube, and TikTok to get the real pulse, and here's what stood out. This Superman feels like a guy who'd help you move on a Sunday morning, not just punch asteroids. Krypto is the MCU Groot moment DC needed. That Ultraman reveal, didn't see that coming. Let's talk about that last one, because yeah, we've got a multiversal tease. In the post-credits scene, there's a shot of a distorted Superman, a twisted smile. Fans believe it's Ultraman, the evil Earth 3 counterpart. James Gunn is planting seeds just like Marvel did a decade ago, but it feels more focused. Now let's zoom out. Why is this the best reboot since Smallville? Emotional core. It remembers that Clark is a person first, hero second, balance of tone. Funny but not Marvel goofy, emotional but not trauma porn. Real stakes. The villain isn't some end-of-the-universe CGI blob, it's about fear, legacy, and trust. Accessible lore. You don't need to know comic backstories to enjoy it, but if you do, there are dozens of Easter eggs. Look for the subtle nod to All-Star Superman on Clark's bookshelf. James Gunn's direction. It's clear he loves this character and wants us to love him too. On set, Gunn reportedly encouraged the actors to improvise, especially in the Clark and Lois diner scene, which became one of the most shared clips on TikTok. Behind-the-scenes footage from Superman Day showed Corenswet training with real firemen to make rescue scenes more authentic. The S-Shield itself was redesigned to echo the John Byrne 1986 reboot, which fits the legacy meets modern theme of the entire film. Now let's pull back for a moment and compare Superman 2025 to the legacy of reboots that came before it. First up, Smallville. Say what you will about the early 2000s budget constraints and the lack of major cinematic action, but Smallville gave us something few adaptations dared to explore: character depth. It was a slow burn, a coming-of-age journey rather than a cape-first spectacle. Clark Kent was allowed to feel real, raw, awkward, and for many fans, that emotional investment is what made it timeless. Then came Man of Steel 2013. Ambitious, cinematic, visually breathtaking. Snyder swung big, and when it worked, it soared, but the film's biggest critiques remain. The tone was too dark for some, and Clark, he sometimes felt more like a symbol than a person. Powerful, yes, but occasionally distant. Superman Returns 2006 stepped in with a heavy dose of nostalgia, trying to echo the tone of Christopher Reeve's era. It had heart but struggled with pacing, and a villain that lacked bite. It felt reverent, almost too reverent, and didn't quite carve out its own identity. And now there's Superman 2025. Here's where things get interesting. What makes James Gunn's take stand out is balance, a rare, almost surgical blend of modern ensemble storytelling, a return to emotional warmth, and just enough legacy to make longtime fans feel at home. It doesn't abandon the myth, it reinvigorates it. Yes, there are some minor dips in pacing, especially in the second act, but overall, it feels like the first time in a long time that a Superman reboot isn't afraid to be, well, Superman. So, is Superman the best reboot since Smallville? Yeah, it absolutely is. Not because it's perfect, but because it understands what makes Superman matter. It's a film about kindness in a cynical world, about identity in a chaotic universe, about hope when hope feels cheesy. A hero for all. The trailer tagline. And honestly, that's what we needed.